A robot in Shanghai now walks with a gait that its own maker claims is 92% identical to a human's. Another robot recognizes your face through tiny cameras hidden inside its eyes, and it remembers what you told it the last time you spoke. And in Shenzhen, one company is already selling versions of these machines that can be built to look and sound like someone who has passed away. This is not a demo reel from a science fiction studio. These machines are shipping right now, and once you see how they are being sold, you will understand why the timing matters so much. For years, the whole robot industry chased one goal, which was making machines that could lift, walk, and work like a person in a factory. But something has quietly shifted in China over the last year. Companies are no longer just trying to build strong robots. They are trying to build robots that feel like people you already know, a familiar face, a warm hand, a voice that remembers your name. And the strange part is that none of this replacement started with a perfect android. It started with something much simpler, a screen. Live stream shopping in China is a massive industry, and it runs on repetitive, exhausting work. Hosts talk for hours, answer the same questions, and never get to rest. So companies built digital presenters, human-looking hosts powered by AI, who work around the clock at a fraction of the cost of a real person. They are not perfectly convincing, and they do not need to be. They only need to be good enough that a business stops hiring as many people. Once a company gets comfortable replacing someone on a screen, the next question follows on its own. What happens when that same fake person gets a body? That question is exactly what a Shanghai startup called Droidup is trying to answer. Droidup unveiled a full-body humanoid robot named Moya, standing about 5.5 feet tall and weighing around 32 kilograms. Moya runs on a walking system the company calls Walker 3, and Droidup claims her gait is 92% accurate to natural human walking. That number comes entirely from Droidup's own marketing, and no outside lab has confirmed it. Her skin is kept between 32 and 36 degrees Celsius, close to real human body temperature, and cameras behind her eyes let her mirror your expressions back at you as you talk. Droidup is pricing Moya at about $173,000 and pitching her to hospitals, elder care homes, banks, and museums. But Droidup is a 2-year-old company that has already spent nearly half of the $28.5 million it raised, which is worth remembering before anyone assumes this technology is close to finished. Other Chinese companies are chasing the same idea from a different angle. A company called Ahead built a robot platform where the face, voice, and personality can be swapped without changing the hardware underneath. A hotel could give it one character, and a museum could give the exact same machine a completely different face and history. That flexibility is useful for business, but it gets uncomfortable fast because Ahead has also talked openly about voice cloning and building a face for a family member, using the phrase digital legacy to describe it. Meanwhile, an American company called Realbotix, based in Las Vegas, delivered its first robot with a system called Vinci to the telecom company Ericsson. Vinci uses cameras built directly into the robot's eyes, so when it looks at you, it is actually tracking your face and your reactions. It remembers people it has met before and continues conversations where they left off. That might sound harmless, but the real product here is not the conversation. It is the data. Every expression, every response, and every returning visitor becomes a measurable pattern a business can analyze. This deal is a reminder that the trend is not only a Chinese story anymore, it is becoming a global one. Back in China, a company called UniX AI released a household robot called Panther, built to actually work inside a home rather than greet people in a lobby. Panther moves on 4 wheels instead of legs, which makes it steadier indoors, and it uses 2 8-degree of freedom robotic arms, giving it 34 total degrees of freedom to handle objects. It can run for up to around 12 hours on one charge, and instead of doing single tasks, it is built to chain steps together, waking you up, making breakfast, and cleaning the kitchen afterward. Real homes are messy and unpredictable, so this is still an early test, but it is a real one, already running in actual houses rather than a lab. None of these robots can do much without a brain to connect seeing, understanding, and moving, and that is where Alibaba comes in. Alibaba's Tongyi lab built a set of 3 AI models called the Qwen Robot Suite. One handles navigation, one handles physical manipulation, and one predicts how a scene will change before the robot acts. In one test, a robot running this system explored an unfamiliar apartment and followed spoken instructions with no map, responding in under 200 milliseconds. The manipulation model was trained on more than 38,000 hours of data and topped a major robotics benchmark, though its real-world success rate on tasks was still under half. Alibaba is not building the body. It is trying to become the shared brain that plugs into everyone else's hardware. That brain is already being trusted with real consequences. Ubtech's Walker E, 2 humanoid robots are now working at the Fang-Chenggong border crossing near Vietnam, one of the busiest crossings in the region, under a contract worth about $37 million. These robots guide travelers, answer questions about customs, watch crowds for congestion, and scan cargo containers before sending the data to human officers. A robot giving a wrong direction in a mall is a minor annoyance. A robot making a mistake at a border crossing raises a much bigger question about who is actually responsible when something goes wrong. But the most telling launch of all happened on June 30th in Shenzhen, when Ubtech introduced its UWorld U1 series. This is not an industrial robot. It is built purely for companionship with silicone skin, a face that can hold eye contact, and 88 points of movement across the body. Ubtech says the U1 can recognize more than 20 emotional states with over 90% accuracy, and it remembers you across conversations using what the company calls agent memory. Pricing starts around $17,600 for the smaller light version and climbs to roughly $146,000 for the full Ultra model. And Ubtech says orders had already passed 13,000 units on launch day alone. It is worth noting that the model most people are actually buying right now, the U1 Pro, cannot walk on its own yet. So a lot of this presence is still closer to sitting and talking than living independently in a home. Ubtech is not shy about why it is pushing this so hard. The company points to more than 90 million adults living alone in China and 118 million elderly people living apart from their children, and says a meaningful share of people living alone meet the clinical criteria for a mental health disorder. That is Ubtech's own framing, rather than an independent study, but the demographic pressure behind it is real and well documented elsewhere. And this is where the story turns into something genuinely worth sitting with. Ubtech plans to donate 100 customized U1 robots this year to what it calls vulnerable groups, and these units can be built using 3D facial scanning and voice cloning to recreate a specific person, a missing parent, a distant child, or someone who has already died. The company is not claiming to bring anyone back. The robot only reproduces how someone looked and sounded, but a machine built to resemble someone you loved, one that remembers what the two of you talked about, does not land on the same part of your brain as a lobby greeter does. China has already introduced rules for AI companion apps because people were forming real emotional attachments to software with no body at all. Now give that same idea a face, a voice, and a warm hand to hold. None of these machines are close to being a real substitute for a person, and every company involved knows it. Moya still moves a little stiffly in places. Panther still struggles with the mess of a real home. The U1 still cannot walk on its own. But replacement was never going to arrive as one perfect android. It arrives in pieces, a presenter taking the night shift because it is cheaper, then a robot in a lobby, then a companion that says your name in a voice built from old recordings. Each version shows up as an assistant rather than a replacement, and that framing is usually accurate, right up until the moment it quietly stops being true. That is the part worth watching most closely, not the robots themselves, but how quietly the line moves each time one of them gets good enough.